And now for something completely different as we move from water to big trucks. I am excited to introduce Rocco Calandruccio, who is the CEO of Current EV Motors. He is a native of Tennessee, now a fellow Austinite. He wants to make the world safe, starting with Texas highways, for old big trucks and vans that have been converted to electric vehicles. So give it up for Rocco.
Hey y'all, how we doing? Everybody good? All right. Rocco Calandruccio here, coming from Austin, Texas. Who's excited to talk about cars? Yeah? All right, good. Okay, that's what I'm here to do. As Randall said, I'm Rocco Calandruccio, Austin, Texas. I'm the founder and CEO of Current EV Motors. We are dedicated to simplifying the process of converting a car from gasoline to electric. I really believe we're at a stage in human advancement where technology has caught up with our mechanical needs. We've really got to stop treating these machines as disposable entities. I think we have an opportunity, incredible opportunity right now. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of my personal background. We're going to go through the opportunity at hand, and then we're going to talk about the solution that we've come up with, talk about the impact that that's going to have, and then obviously we'll wrap up with a Q&A session. So I'd like to start with a little family history here. This was my great uncle's Ford dealership. He was the very first Ford dealer in Denver, Colorado. He was taking in horse and buggy in on trade for the Model T and tractors. So this is talk about an energy transition. This is what was going on back then. My grandfather also became a Ford dealer. And so this obsession started, in my family. My parents took a slightly different path. They became architects, and they started an architectural firm in our garage in Tennessee. And so this is me in their architectural firm. I basically spent all my time drawing cars, but also learned how to build and create things physical, and got very good at making physical things. But Tennessee also had a lot of other lessons for me. Every day to and from school, we drove by these salvage yards, and if there's anybody in the audience from rural America, you're familiar with this site. This is where cars go to die. They go to die by the millions, and I'll give you some numbers later on, but it's incredibly wasteful. The industry is wildly wasteful, but I was still obsessed with cars. And so I went on to become an industrial designer. I went to Art Center College of Design and was around some of the greatest automotive minds of our generation and learned how to design and create automobiles and products of all kinds. And I wanted to show you a project that I had with my first job out of college. I know this is not climate related at all, but I wanted to show it to you. This is a group that I worked with in Missoula, Montana called American Expedition Vehicles, and we were taking the inefficient, low-powered motors out of these vehicles and putting more efficient, more powerful motors into these vehicles. We made a product that we sold all over the world. These were for specifically built vehicles for the overland industry. So it's highly technical, highly engineered product that we productize. So back to why I'm here and what I want to talk about, what I really want to focus on. It's the wasteful nature of this industry. I'm not sure if you're aware, but every year we make 85 million cars, and we throw away the exact same number, 85 million cars. And so if you do the math real quick, that equates to 860 million tons of CO2 that go into the environment just making and remaking cars. Now, if you compare that to the amount of carbon that goes into the air from the cars themselves, it's more than double. So making and remaking cars is a tremendous problem in the world today. But to understand the problem, you have to look at the architecture of the automobile. The architecture of the automobile is pretty much the same since the very beginning. You've got a chassis, you got axles, you got a motor, a transmission. It's been made the same. It looks different on the outside, ear to ear, but it's fundamentally the same. So where's the problem? The problem's right here. The engine and transmission is composed of some 2,000 moving parts. And any one of those parts goes wrong, and this car dies. And you find yourself back at the car dealership signing up for another 6 years of debt. And so it's a cycle that keeps going. Planned obsolescence was designed by General Motors in the early 1900s. So this is the problem, and this is what we're trying to address. So what's the solution? Well, there's a whole industry growing right now, the EV conversion industry. And it's growing quite rapidly. It's projected to be $10.5 billion by 2032. It's about 60-40 split between commercial vehicles and passenger vehicles. So we are actually focused on the commercial side of this industry. Total addressable market here in the United States is about 900,000 vehicles are replaced every year. So that's what we're focused on. But there's still a problem in the EV conversion industry. The EV conversion industry is composed of lots of little shops that are doing a low volume of vehicle conversions. And because of that, they don't have the same kind of access that the automakers have to good parts. So they're stuck using these motors that were designed for like forklifts and heavy machinery, things like that. And they stick them on transmissions, and then they have to put the motors where the batteries or where the gas tank used to be, or where the engine used to be in the vehicle's crumple zone. So this is not ideal. So what we designed was a system that is more efficient. Put the batteries in the center, motors on the axles, kind of the same way that Rivian and Tesla does it. And then we patented this idea. We patented in the United States and Canada, so we now have 4 patents in the US and Canada for this technology. So it's a simple, fast, and affordable system that comes in at about 30 grand less than it takes for you to buy a brand new EV. So just one example, this is one of our contracts that we have for the Ford Econoline. And the budget they had for this vehicle was between $55,000, $65,000. We were able to come in at $35K and meet their budget for that. So we're repurposing these vehicles. This one vehicle can go across many different platforms. Our model is different than the way the industry is set up right now. We are not one shop with one building doing these conversions. We are a product company. We create these products, and then we send them out all over the world to a dealer network. And so this is very scalable. This is how we grow. This is how we influence more and more people, and we change the industry. So our goal, our 10-year impact goal, is to convert 10% of used vehicles to electric. We want to eliminate 280 million tons of CO2 emissions from vehicles, and we want to empower a workforce of 100,000 plus jobs worldwide to do this work. And so we're very excited about this vision, and we hope you can join us in our journey. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Back to the Future reference.
Yeah, love it, Rocco. That was awesome. Really, really exciting.
Yeah, thank you.
And really enjoyed your presentation. I guess where to start thinking about is, here in Miami, for example, there's been a whole discussion about transitioning the entire fleet of municipal buses, county buses.
Right.
And it's always been talked about as buying new buses.
Right.
By the way, the school system's doing the same thing.
Correct.
It's not even been part of the conversation about converting the existing fleet.
That's right.
Why is that so?
I'm not sure exactly. And I approached, I can't recall her name, she's at the White House yesterday. I'm going to talk to her about that. But yeah, I don't know why it hasn't been part of the conversation. I think because traditionally it's been kind of a smaller industry and it hasn't made a lot of noise. People aren't aware of it. I've actually talked to a number of people during this conference that didn't even know it was possible, right? There is this perception that we've got to throw away what we have and we have to get the new. But I can tell you right now, it's possible. I drive one every day, So I hope that answers your question, but I really don't know why.
Yeah, so is it, just a quick follow-up, is it, your thesis, what you laid out here, is that it is more affordable to convert rather than buy new, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're not making a new car. You're only putting new parts in it.
And so is one of the primary challenges as you're building current EV motors is really sort of an education marketing one?
It's education, but maybe I need to explain a little bit. So there is the industry that's growing right now, and if you went to one of these shops and you wanted your vehicle converted to electric, it would be very expensive. It'd be around $100,000 for you to do that. And the reason is because it's a bespoke, custom process. They're going to take in your Alfa Romeo or whatever it is that you have. They're going to take the gas parts out. They're going to scan it. Then they're going to engineer all the parts that go in. It's going to take them about 6 months. It's a lot of labor. And then you've got expensive batteries that are going into it. So it's only top 1% that can afford this right now. The difference between us and them is that we pick the highest volume vehicles, right? And we do all of that R&D beforehand. So we pay for that through one vehicle. Then we scale the product. And then once you scale that product, then it brings the unit prices down. And then it's more of a plug and play type solution. We're not splicing wires together anymore. You bolt it into the vehicle and then you can plug the things in, versus highly skilled electrical engineering that needs to happen. This is the kind of work that happens in a Firestone or any sort of mechanic type shop can do that work.
Follow-up, and just as a
He's
very
more
quick,
into cars than I.
I know, I can get kind of nerdy
obviously
quick
for
here.
this to
So
work, scale is really, really important.
Scale's
Talk
very
about
important.
the sectors that you're focused on. Is this school buses? Is
Yes.
this buses and transit systems? Is this trucking companies? What are your target markets?
right now we are very much focused on commercial vehicles, right? We are in conversations right now with TCEQ, which is the organization that distributes the VW settlement funds. And so we are focusing that effort on school buses specifically in Texas. So school buses, transit vehicles, the airport kind of shuttle buses, things like that are high volume opportunities that allow us to scale this and then to grow this across many different platforms. So yeah.
And where are you then currently with the traction that you have so far?
I'm sorry?
Traction.
So we have a contract for 12 of these Econoline vans, and we have a waiting list of probably 50 vintage vehicle customers that want conversions done. And then we have those school bus, we're very close on those contracts as well too.
Okay.
So-
And then what would be your biggest challenges to scaling?
Funding. We need the kind of support to really get to that level where we can buy at these levels. I mean, I'll give you an example here. I'm in conversations with Dana, which is the major provider of OEM parts to Chrysler and Ford and these others. And they want to know, okay, how many orders do you have, right? And once I have that critical mass of orders, then I have access to those parts, and then I can start creating those solutions. So yeah, it's that kind of getting to that next level where you go from buying down here to buying up here, and then you price cuts. That's kind of the challenge we have. So I probably over time.
No, you're good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you all.